Hey folks, this is Jeff, SimSamurai.net. This is a quick demonstration tutorial for my freeware F-14D Tomcat, revision 4, I believe, by Steve Henson. I've made a new panel for this. I'm sitting on the deck of the USS Enterprise CVN-65, and this is a cockpit that is available on my website as freeware. Just built it recently and just wanted to make a quick tutorial to show folks how to use it if they want to grab it off the net. Basically, I'm sitting here at dusk off of coast of Puerto Rico, so since it's a little dark, I'm going to go ahead and turn my lights on, which are down here. You can turn on my nav and my beacon lights as well, which are down and left on the other side. I guess I can start from left to right, or rather right to left. This gauge right here at lower right is a Tcas radar and digital vertical speed indicator. And so basically, to use this, you need to access the sidearms panel, which is just to the left of it. You bring that up. The Tcas is located in approximately, or the transponder is located in approximately the same position, but this allows you to turn on the terrain awareness and warnings for your Tcas system, and then you can set the range. Usually in a plane like this, you can set it from 18 to 24. While we're here, you can see the fuel tanks and fuel pressurization gauge. It's got a left and right fuel valve switch and a fuel bleed and dump switch, and then your comms and radios are located here, followed by your DME 1 and 2 and an IFF squawk that you can turn on if you'd like. And on the other side, you'll see the engine indication gauges, the parking brake switch, a pushback switch, the throttle, and then your engine start switches, your left generator, right generator, pitot heat, an exhaust, smoke system switch, your master avionics, and your master battery. And so that's basically the sidearms panel. And again, to toggle it off, first icon on the left down here at the bottom right, and easy to get to. I put all the icons close together. Basically, the Rio panel is triggered via the little radio icon. Again, basically co-located in the same place, so it's easy to turn off and on. While we're here, you can see we've got another radar. I believe this is called the Super 80 or something like that. It came along with the SALS gauge up here, which I turned on. This basically shows you different range and beacons, VORs, and such at different miles away from you. The rear seat has a several layer deep multifunction display. It starts with an ADI attitude ball and VSI that you can fly from the rear seat if you want. You can turn that off. You just click these off and on. An HSI, horizontal situation indicator, toggled off and on. The GPS moving map mode, which if you toggle the screen will actually turn it into terrain, and then you can use your GPS zoom to zoom down in on your current location. And then again, to toggle it to the other view, you just click the screen. And then lastly, a meatball gauge, so that you can actually land the plane from the rear seat if you'd like. This is a radar. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a dummy radar. Same thing with this dummy weather radar, but I figured I'd throw them in here just to make the Rio seat look more realistic and cool and functional. It's got left and right fire emergency alarms. Your nav GPS switch here is in the back. Another radar, your flaps gauge, gear, etc., etc., and then lower left, standby, airspeed indicator, your altimeter, and attitude. And then actually you can open and close the canopy by pressing on the canopy jettison switch. It won't jettison the canopy, rather, but it'll open and close your exit. And the parking brake switch, where this little hook is located, if you just click on that, that's an invisible toggle to toggle your parking brake on and off. But actually we want to leave it on right now since we're sitting on the carrier. And so that's it for the Rio panel. You can also bring up your GPS, your standard map, etc., checklists up at these top four. So those are conveniently located. Same thing, it's got the catapult launch arm switch here and your tail hook command here. So again, it's pretty, I think, fully functional, so you can fly it entirely from the back seat if you want. But anyway, let's return to the main panel in the front seat. And so let's go ahead and put our flaps all the way down. Flaps gauge is located right here, top right. The main MFD has two components, a comms panel and an autopilot panel, so you can toggle that MFD off with that, and then actually physically reset your presets however you want, just by using your hand on the mouse. So we'll turn that off, and basically make sure the flaps are down for takeoff, and then before that you want to arm your catapult switch. I usually set this up to about 160 maybe for the F-14. But anyway, to continue on with the cockpit, this has a fully featured autopilot that works. You can go ahead and set your airspeed up to about 250, 300 knots if you want. The top right, you do have to use the auto throttle, so there's an auto throttle switch which illuminates with a green light to let you know that that's working. And then same thing, vertical speed over here, altitude is right here. You have to click the knob to raise the altitude. There's 10,000 feet, and then there's your vertical speed adjustment knobs. A little dark, hard to see, but there it is. It functions like a trim wheel should, meaning lower version, pointing for putting up the nose, and then forward for pushing the nose down. So there's 2,000 positive vertical. So basically those are controlled. Your course you can change here, your heading you can change here. It says course and heading there. You got a flight director switch which works. Down here is your fuel management with flow, remaining, use, time to end, how many gallons you burned, etc. And then over here on the same side of your speed side as on the ball is an airspeed and ground speed indicator, which is nice. We've got low fuel and oil pressure warning lights here. Usually low pressure is on when the engines are throttled all the way back. Radar functions are over here. Turn the radar on and off and zoom in and out, and remember you can actually physically click on the aircraft for it to make display information about your targeting aircraft. So basically this is it. You got your standby altimeter, standby airspeed gauge, standby attitude ball, and a radar altimeter over here. Speed brake toggle off and on here, and lastly what's cool, you'll see the speed brake light comes on, speed brake lights illuminate up here too, but on the left is a little checklist placard I made for landing it. Approach and carry at 135 knots with full flaps and your speed brake out is basically the procedure for this. I can turn this meatball off, but you see the Rio one is still on, so I need to go back to the Rio seat, hit meatball right here to turn that off, toggle back to the main panel. Now you can see the meatball, and then I would have to use this gauge up here to select which carrier I'm operating from, which in this case is Puerto Rico. And then once I get on the glide slope, this will work. So I'm going to take off here real quick and end the video. Thanks for watching, and let me make sure speed brake is off, flaps are full, catapult is armed, throttle all the way up, and launch. Pitch up, 5 degrees, check positive climb, gear is up, and bring the flaps up, throttle back, and start coming around. So that's it. Basically, this is the freeware F-14D panel for the freeware F-14 Tomcat by Steve Henson, available on Absim. You can get this off my website. I'm hoping to post it to Absim soon. I think it's the best freeware panel I've ever seen for this F-14. It's a great panel to fly. I really love it, and I think you're going to enjoy it too. So thanks from simsamurai.net. Keep tuned in. I've got 2 more aircraft tutorials in this Navy series for military aircraft. Thanks for watching. Bye.